Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel today. I'm out here on the GB350 and it's a sort of a dual purpose run for me today. One, I'm just checking out the reservoir here, and more importantly I've just bought myself a new camera, a Sony RX100-7, so I'm curious to see how this one performs out here today. So that's always a good test. And while I was here I thought I might put up a clip, 5 features I don't like about the Honda GB350. So I've had this bike now roughly, I don't know, 3 weeks, put up around 450 kilometres on it, and it'll give me an idea, or give you an idea, a couple of things. Now this is a really hard bike to pick faults with, because overall it's a pretty good bike, so if I'm going to put up 5 worst features, I think I might as well put up 5 best features. So toss of the coin, we'll do the worst ones first, if you call them that. And we'll start off with the colour scheme. So that's number one, the colour scheme. Here in Australia you only get a choice of a blue or you get a matte black, so both of them matte colours, and which is a bit of a pity, because if you look in other parts of the world, for example India, where it's known as a Highness 350, they come out in some really nice colours, and it's unfortunate our way we just get what I class, I don't really go much on any of the matte colours, and I think they could have tried a bit harder, or bought in 3 colours and did 2 matte, 1 gloss, and that would have helped you there. So I think at this stage this matte colour is really only for the Japanese version of the bikes. You know, that's what they seem to run over there. But overall I thought if they would have put a gloss on it, I definitely would have went gloss compared to matte, because as I mentioned earlier, matte is not my favourite colour. So that's number one. And number two is this crappy seat they come with, and geez, this is really a bad seat. So I always ride this bike with an Airhawk 2 seat cover on it, a little bit softer. And the only thing I can compare it to is, in the old days I had a Verzi 300, and that was possibly the worst bike I'd been on as far as a hard seat goes. So this one had run at number 2. And it's a rare occasion where I actually ride a bike with a Airhawk seat on it. So later on I will have to do something about that seat. Now that might be alright if you've got 8.5 of goodness to sit on, but in my case it's a bit more on the bony side. But you know, if you've got a really good rump on you, well, you probably won't have any problems there at all, because you've got plenty of padding there. But it's only out of all the bikes I've had, I've only found a couple that have been bad in this area, and this one and the there's the X300, which rates outright worst, were 2 things I, you know, like I can only target these 2 bikes, and they're the ones that never did much for me. Now number 3 would be the heel and toe shifter. I've never been really impressed with the heel and toe shifter come with this bike. It's more like for a size 14 hoof, and you know, it was sort of a, I don't know, when you look at the original, I might be able to throw up a photo now, it looks like it was made for a just a cheap Chinese scooter. But what I did, I put the classic 350 Reborn heel toe shifter on it, which when we go back here from this distance here, looks really nice on the bike, much better than the crappy one it come with. And I think it gives you lightning fast changes, or gear changes, especially on the ups from 1 to 5, and if you put something like that on it, you'd be fairly happy with it, I think. Now it's not perfect by any means, but it is pretty good. So it's a lot better than that stock one, which you can't reach anyway. But this one here I can slam from gear 1 up to 5 really quick, and it does a really good job of going through the changes in that line too. So if you keep that in mind, plus the odd car that comes fast, everything's good on this road. So that's number 3 out of the way. I'll just give you another shot of that reservoir there. It looks really good, doesn't it? Now, next up, for a Japanese bike, I thought, we'll just pull this soft seat off. I just thought they could have improved it better here. Now this must be a random on bikes, because someone else got on the channel, or my channel, and said his bike doesn't do it. I think a couple of rubber blocks would have done the job well, just at the back section, and that would have got rid of that problem there. So that's number 4 out of the way. And last but not least, this is supposed to take the line of a 70s classic bike. Now it comes with LED headlights and indicators. Well, headlights you can't do nothing much about, but the indicators, it's just a pity for number 5 complaint, if you call these complaints, that they could have made those old school, like the Honda orange ones, what they put on the classic 350 and things like that. So apart from that, they're the 5 worst features I could say about the bike, if you class them as worst features. But this is really a hard bike to fault, so you know, I've had to go into this way, thinking this over. What can I say about it? Because when I put up the next clip on 5 best features, it just goes to show you then what a really good bike this is. So, you know, I've got to call it both ways, show both things there, because if not, somebody will point out, yeah, never told us about the seat, or that's gear shifter, or things like that. So it's best I keep things straight in that line. When we get on to 5 best features, they are really worth watching. So overall, if you're on the market and thinking about one of these bikes, don't rule one out, because they're a pretty good bike. A little bit over on the overpriced side. This won't be counted in the 5, but in reality this bike is a little bit overpriced at $8,000. But then again, if you look back when Honda brought the CT125 Trail here at $7,800, and I had 2 of those, they were heavily overpriced for what you get. 10 horsepower, gutless, wouldn't climb hills. All you're buying one of those for is the nostalgia side. Where this one, you can actually do things with it. You can get out along the road, ride at 100 kilometres an hour, power it over the hills. I'd say I've had it at the 110, it'll run 110. So, you know, as far as that thing goes, 2 totally different bikes. So if you're after one where you can actually use compared to look at and think, I wish I could, this is the bike for you.